It is time to do my makeup. I absolutely love doing my makeup. I do my makeup every single morning, and I am someone who just likes to go full in. There's some days where I go a little bit less dramatic with my eye, but I'm gonna show you like my full makeup routine from start to finish to the smoky eye that I do on a daily basis. And I'm not a makeup artist by any means. I wish that I was, but I do get compliments on my makeup all the time. So I'm excited to share kind of my steps and all the products that I use, and I will link everything down below. I already put on my moisturizer, my eye cream, I already did all of that. So let's start with the primer and then go step by step on how I do it. Let's get started. Starting with the NYX Marshmallow Primer. Prime your face really well so that the makeup stays all day long. Always put a little bit of lip oil on just as I'm getting ready so my lips can really hydrate. This is the Kylie Skin Lip Oil. I've also used one by Fenty Skin that was really good as well that I'll put right here. Next, let's prime the eyelids. An eyelid primer I do think is important. I think it really prevents creasing with your makeup. This one is by Anastasia, it's their eye primer. Just a little bit is all you need. I do bring my eye primer down here, just because you can get that creasing. A little bit of my concealer, just to put a little bit more on my lid to act like a base before I do eyeshadow. Next, we're gonna do some eyebrows. This is the Dior Brow Styler in Blonde. I struggle with my eyebrows. I've learned that the eyebrows are probably one of the most important features on your face that you need to really master when you're talking about good makeup. And I still know how I do it is not exactly how I want them, but it is the closest thing I've ever gotten to really liking my eyebrows. So basically what I do is I start by tracing underneath first on both sides. Then I leave this front portion open and then start coloring from the top over, then fill in, and then I smudge this part up because you do want the medial aspect of your brow, which is the brow closest to your nose, to be lighter than the rest of your brow. So I'll show you how I do that. At the end, I try to bring it down the lateral aspect of your eye and then go straight up. You can even draw that line, and that's where I like my eyebrow to end. And I believe that's how it should be done. I honestly don't know. I think I saw it somewhere. There's a brush on this end, so now I'm gonna take the pigmentation that I drew under here and smear it up. Looking pretty good. Now, let's go in and clean up the brow. So what I mean by this is, and to be honest with you, these brushes are so old that they don't even have names written on them. So I will link similar brushes so you know what I use. But this is a very thin brush that I'm going to put a little bit of foundation on. A little bit of foundation that I just put on a beauty blender. You're gonna trace the brow, basically outline it to get any type of pigment from the brow stick that you don't want. So look at the difference between this brow and this brow. This one looks way more like sharp. Next, the Naked palette by Urban Decay. This is the Heat palette. Look how pretty these colors are. So I'm going to start with this type of brush, and I'm going to use this color right here all over my lid as a base. I do my eyeshadow first before the rest of my face makeup, because many times the eyeshadow like falls under my eye and I never want to wipe away like my face makeup if I already have that on. So I do this first just so I can be as sloppy as I want, and then I'll do my face makeup. Now this brush, again, there's nothing written on it, but it has this smaller end here and then this like feathery one here. I'm gonna go in with this color and this color. This is Scorched and Lumbre, I believe. Any type of like burgundy, brown, green, gold, that all looks good with my eyes. So I'm always doing some type of color like this to make my eyes pop. And you're just placing this all over your lid. Again, you can be sloppy with it because you're going to clean it up later. See how the makeup's falling right there? I'll wipe that off. Next, you're going to take more of a tighter, compact type of brush. I'm going to use these two, which are Ashes and Ember, just a little bit, and just placing it on the corner of the outside of my eye. Again, don't worry about being perfect with it. Just place it here. Don't need a lot. Do like a little sideways triangle, okay? Take your primer, put a little bit, and then watch. That's how I get my makeup. Going back with that feathery side of the brush, you are just going to blend in that crease. Back and forth, back and forth. And then you're also gonna come out, swooping like that. Bringing it up a little bit. This is one thing that I always struggle with because I feel like I was like pretty good at doing my eye makeup, but it just looked too sharp. Like you don't want your blending and your shadow to be too defined. You want it to blend in very well. So it's almost hard for you to see the transition in terms of where it's lighter here, darker here. So I feel like just the more and more you blend, the better. And you don't need a lot of pigment in this area to do that. Again, you can be sloppy with it because you're going to clean it up later. This is the brush that actually came in the Urban Decay package. I'm gonna go in with probably this color. and just work on right underneath my brow. Again, blending that transition line in. Because you always want it to be a little bit lighter right under your brow. And then I'll also show you at the end how I'll put a little highlighter up here to make it really pop at the end. Blend, blend, blend. Let's start working on foundation. So this is literally almost empty, but this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation in color 3, Cool. So I do about, I don't know, pump and a half of that. Then I take the Rio Sunset Glow Oil. Just 1 pump of this. This stuff is so pretty. Rub it together. I do apply my foundation with my hands. I do think that you get like really, really nice results when you do that. And then I'll go back in with my beauty blender at the end to make sure everything is rubbed in well. Okay, going in with the beauty blender now that has a little bit of foundation on it from when I did my eyebrows. Time to contour. I use the Revlon Caramel Stick. And let's talk about contouring. Contouring is so hard, guys. I have struggled with this for so long. If you do too much, you look ridiculous. If you don't do enough, it doesn't do anything. So let's talk about where I'm putting it. So, I know, but hear me out. Up here, we want to be a little dark on the cheekbone, not below the cheekbone. I learned that the hard way. And then underneath the jawline, and then the nose to make it look slim. My nose is one of my biggest insecurities, but I've done a pretty good job of contouring it with makeup. So this is a Morph brush. Very compact little bristles, whatever. And I'm just using the bronzer, Hoola bronzer, and I'm just going over the contour of my nose. That just helps set that creamy contour in place. Okay. Use my finger a little bit, blend it in. I know it looks a little ridiculous right now, but hang on. Okay, let's blend in the contour. Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized. Still gonna leave it pretty dark here because you'll see at the end how it works better. But just a little bit of blending. Blend, 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 keeping that center part nice and free of pigmentation. Okay, now let's go in with our concealer. Love me some concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in porcelain beige. I actually really, really love this concealer. I think it does a great job at concealing the under eyes without creasing. On the side of where I put that darker contour, this is where you're gonna help lift the eye. So take that concealer, lift it up. Around the nose, a couple dabs here. If you had any breakouts, this is where you can spot treat. Right under that cheekbone. And then just a dab. And then I use my pinky finger to bring that down in the middle. This is about when my husband walks in, he's like, what are you doing? Looks like war paint. And I'm like, yep. Blend, 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 using the pointy side of your beauty. Let's do some bronzer using the Hoola bronzer. I think this is like shade medium. And I believe this is the Hoola brush, if I'm not mistaken. A couple little dabs. Putting this bronzer on top of the cheekbone, not down here, which is where I used to put it. Next, I do some blush. I need to wash this. This is like a really, really fluffy brush. I use the Kylie Jenner Winter Kissed. It's a really pretty pink. And I love blush, so here we go. You want to do this above the cheekbone. Not here, above. And I will even bring it under my eye.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you.
Another game changer product for me, the Huda Beauty Pound Cake Setting Powder. Love. Blot that onto your beauty blender. First, trace out your nose. Okay, leave that there while you do your eyeliner. So, taking a very, very fine pointed brush, I'm gonna go in with this maroon darker color. This is En Fuego and Ashes. So, a little bit of a blot. Take the corner of your eye and go out. Just like that, okay? Same thing to the other side. Again, if it's not perfect, don't panic. Now go under your eyelid, the bottom eyelash line. I don't wear eyeliner. I just smoke out my eye by using eyeshadow. Connect that up top. Boom. Does anyone else know how to do their eye makeup without their mouth opening up? Because I can't, so I look ridiculous, but it's fine. Again, connecting the top.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized.
Smoke City. Okay. All right, I use two mascaras. This is the Maybelline Great Lash. I feel like everyone knows this mascara. Starting with your top eyelashes first. Then using the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. Now you're gonna take your powder brush. This is Sephora's Pro Powder 59 brush, and you're just gonna blend in all that baking powder that you put on. Next I go in with Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I mean, it's just basically like a setting powder that I need more of. And I feel like it just blurs, like almost like it gives your face a little bit of a filter look. So I just put this all where the concealer was, under my eyes. It keeps everything in place. Okay, now taking your highlighter. So the highlighter I use is by Dior. It's the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer. This is Pink Glow. So, so pretty. I have, again, another one of those brushes. I've seen people use like a fan type of brush. I'll post that as well. But just on top of that blush, on top of the cheekbone. So, cheekbone, concealer, bronzer, blush, highlight. And I'm gonna go right under that winged eyeshadow I did and just really pick it up. Look at that. That is life. Just life. And let's go back and forth, back and forth. Same thing on this side. Just picks up this area. Love it. I hope this is showing in video how good it looks in person. Because right there, woo! Okay. Nasal bridge right in the center. And on top of the nose. Yes. Cupid's bow. And then right under the eyebrow here. Make that pop. Okay, let's take some brow gel. This is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And we're just going to set. Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk in medium. Then I do the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. I love this color. So pretty. Then I go in with my Buxom Creamsicle Gloss, just a little bit. And here she is, guys.